A sale to a new foreign buyer often begins with an inquiry, followed by a request for a price quote. Once you have established that there is genuine interest, the next step is to create a pro forma invoice for the potential buyer. It's the preferred method for doing international business. A pro forma invoice provides more information than a domestic quote in order to address the unique aspects of foreign sales. Created in the style of a typical commercial invoice, the pro forma invoice allows you and the buyer to understand each other clearly and negotiate the terms of sale. As you create the pro forma invoice, carefully consider your pricing strategy and the level of risk for the shipment. Additionally, the buyer may also require a pro forma invoice to apply for an import license, open a letter of credit, or purchase another currency. Once finalized, the pro forma invoice will be the basis for the commercial invoice, which is the final bill of sale. In this video, you'll learn how to negotiate and fulfill a successful export transaction with these key international sales documents. The first and most important step when crafting your document is to mark it clearly as pro forma invoice. This will clarify that the terms of sale are not final. A pro forma invoice typically contains the following elements: contact details for you and the buyer, the specific time period for which the quote is valid, such as 30 days, the price and currency of the quote, the method of payment, such as cash on delivery or letter of credit, a detailed description of the product, including dimensions and weight of the items when packed for shipment, the shipping date and delivery point, and the terms of sale, either with a generic term or an Incoterm. A term of sale specifies who is responsible for paying for and managing the shipment, insurance, documentation, customs clearance, and other logistical activities. You can use Incoterms, which are internationally recognized terms. You can learn more about them on trade.gov. Other items that should appear on a pro forma invoice include other additional charges, such as special documents, legalization required for documents, inspection and/or certification fees, pre-shipment inspections, and special packaging and labeling. It's also good practice to include the following statements where applicable. Please advise of any special documents or standards required to clear customs in your country, as this might affect our shipping date. The country of origin for the goods is the United States, or another country if applicable. The pro forma invoice is true and correct. Finally, have a responsible person in your company sign the document. The pro forma invoice can be a useful tool in the process of negotiating a sale. It's a good idea to communicate often with the foreign buyer in the earliest stages of a transaction. Find out if there are special documents or regulatory compliance requirements of the foreign country. There could be costly problems and delays if you don't know up front. Ask if a shipping date is required. If so, check if your company can meet it. Finally, understand the scope of your insurance coverage in case something happens before the buyer has received the goods. As you prepare to export your product, the next step is to prepare the commercial invoice for the shipment. The commercial invoice is a legal document between a seller and buyer describing the goods and price. It's a key document for customs clearance and determining customs duties. When preparing the commercial invoice, include the same details from your pro forma invoice. You can find samples and more information about these documents on trade.gov. Beginning with a carefully crafted pro forma invoice and finalized with a commercial invoice, you and a foreign buyer can agree on a price and terms that will help to ensure full satisfaction to both parties.